boxing.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We'll get straight into the video. Today we're going to be talking about hand wrapping, specifically how to wrap your hands for beginners, although intermediates might be interested too. I've got a few tips that are handed down from me from some professionals and some really good trainers that taught me how to wrap my hands. So we're going to be using these. Wraps, which are the industry standard Everlast 180 inches. I'll leave a link in the description below. You can get different types of hand wraps. Just be wary of the length, because sometimes they come in 120 inches, which for me isn't enough to cover your whole wrist and knuckle. This is polyester and nylon mix, so sometimes they come in cotton and it doesn't have as much elastic or elasticity, which I think you need. So anyway, let's get into the video. Alright, so I'm just going to talk while we do this, okay? So first things first, you want to put the little loop onto your thumb, okay? There are a lot of ways you can wrap your hands. There's not necessarily a wrong or right way to do it. What I would highly recommend doing are a couple of tips I'll speak on as I start wrapping the hands, which are to lay and tuck. Okay, those two things I think are essential, and I'll speak on those as I'll go through the video. So you can hold this or you can just drop it. I like to drop it because I've got more control of the actual wrap as opposed to holding the ball, but it's up to you. Now this is what I like to do. I start with the wrist, okay? So I go under, and then this is the part where you lay and tuck, okay? So I've laid it over and then I'm tucking it. It gets rid of any airtight from the wrap, so it's not that will just accumulate and add up in just unnecessary baggage, okay? So lay it, tuck it, don't pull it. Okay, definitely don't pull it. That's going to create a tightness on your skin, and it's going to build up, and your wrist is going to be so tight it's going to cut off the circulation, and it's not going to feel good. So definitely one thing I would highly recommend not doing is pulling it like that. Just lay it and tuck it, and the tuck really comes from when you do another lay. Okay, I've gone over, go down a bit, lay it, tuck. Okay, getting rid of any of that. Don't pull it again, just lay it and tuck. Back over, lay it, tuck it. Okay, so now you've got 3 rungs there. I'm gonna do 4. Bam. Okay, 4 even lines there. Now if you have wrist issues, obviously you can wrap the wrist a little bit more, and vice same for if you have like some slightly more knuckle issues. Typically people have, what I've found is they have more issues in the wrist as beginners because they haven't developed it, okay? So you can certainly load up more you know, turns on the wrist if you need to, but you can also do that at the end, so I'll show you. So we've got to here, laid it and tuck it 4 times, okay? Now I'm going to come back down the wrist up to the thumb section. All right, now I like to go across here, over. Not going to go over the knuckle just yet. We're going to do the thumb underneath like this, okay, and then back over here. Okay, so the thumb is covered there and here. This is important, okay, because then you're going to do the thumb again here. So the thumb shouldn't be showing like that, all right? There should be no skin. Again, lay it, tuck it, underneath, lay it, tuck it, boom. Now you're going to go over to the knuckle, okay? You're going to come over the knuckle, and when you do the knuckle, you might not be able to catch it first time, but when you come over here, you have to make sure that you get the knuckle, okay? Sometimes people do this and they'll wrap their whole hand and the knuckle will be like peering through. All right, you want to definitely get the knuckle. And a way to check it is to make a fist so you can see the knuckle coming through. All right. Now there's a couple ways you can reinforce this. Okay, I don't do this, but for future reference, you can lay an extra bit of the wrap over a couple of times like that, okay, and then wrap that under. All right, that'll give you more protection. I personally don't do that. My knuckles are okay. I like to use it in a different distribution, but if you are having, you know, if you want to protect your knuckles more, you can do that. You can also put a piece of foam in there and just put the foam here and then wrap over it. That's fine. I've seen people do that. I don't need to do either of those just from punching a heavy bag for so long will make your wrists a lot stronger. So lay it, tuck it over the knuckle. Lay it, tuck. Okay. I tend to do this 3 or 4 times, okay? Let's go there. This is the 4th one. All right, now from here, it's gonna get a little tricky, all right? You're gonna go under the thumb, okay? And then back up through the little pinky, all right? And now I use the bridge of the thumb here to hold this because it can start sliding up. So I've done the pinky, and I've seen people go the other direction too. That's up to you. Then we're gonna come back and do the middle. Again, laying and tucking, okay? Keep it nice and clean. One more. Boom. All right, now you're gonna clean it up, okay? Because there's a lot of excess wrap there. You don't really want that. So you go back under here, cross over the top, all right? And it's not quite done yet. And we're gonna go over it one more time, okay? So that's nice and clean, okay? Giving you more support as well. And then you're basically done, okay? From here, you're just gonna come back down, and you've still got a little bit left to finish off the wrist with, okay? So here, you're gonna come over, and this bit is there's a little tip, okay? With the top wrist here, if you need to feel like you need to tighten it more, now's the time to do it. If you want to lay this bit a little tighter and a little sharper and get that, that's fine, because then you don't have to do the whole wrap again. If it feels too tight, you don't have to rewrap the whole thing. You can just unwrap that. It's not something I personally do, but you know, I've seen beginners where they want it tighter sometimes, and I found that works when you just do the wrap regularly and then you end it with the tightness. That way you don't have to take the whole thing off, and you don't really want to be wasting any more time with wrapping your hands. You want to just start punching the bag. So, you know, it makes sense. So just a quick summary on some of the most important things and tips that you absolutely should be doing is laying it and tucking it, okay? And if you have weaker wrists, save a little bit for the wrists and reload on the wrists, especially at the end, and vice versa for the knuckle. If your knuckles are a little weaker, do the extra layering that I mentioned. Buy yourself a little piece of foam, put it in there. Other than that, it's fairly straightforward. Find whatever works for you with regards to, you know, there's many different ways you can do it. You don't have to do the same way I did. Some people start with the knuckle first, that's fine. But laying it and tucking it and not getting it too tight, because it's gonna ease up in the glove. And if you want to do it too tight or tighter, do it at the end. Anyway, I hope that made sense. Leave a comment if you have any questions about this. I will leave a link, like I said, about these industry standard hand wraps. Boxing on the Edge. Have a lovely week, and I will see you next week.